You're watching Your Worst Friend, Going Deeper, Season 5. Today's guest, adult film star Clara Trinity. Here's your hosts, Matt and Shane.
You're watching Your Worst Friend Going Deeper Season 5. I'm Matt, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Shane.
Hello.
Go to yourworstfriend.com to see all of our other interviews and follow us on social media at WorstFriendCast. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by a very special guest. You might know her from such cinematic masterpieces as Angels and Pantyhose 2 and My Husband's Best Friend 3. You can find her on Instagram at TrinityXClara or Twitter and OnlyFans at Trinity_Clara. Please, you know we push people. Go to the OnlyFans. Sign up for that. These people put out content for you. The least you could do is support them. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in welcoming to the show, the enchanting, the captivating Miss Clara Trinity. Clara, thank you very much for coming on with us today.
Thank you.
So right off the bat, can we just start with, how did you initially get into the industry? What was your step? Was it a gradual thing? Was it camming to stripping to this to that? Or was it just boom, all the way in?
Basically all the way in, because I was in school at the time, and like being 18 turning into 19, I was working at Hooters and Twin Peaks, like, you know, the restaurant jobs, because I like to entertain guys, but I never got into like the stripping industry until like this year. So one of my customers, she was a girl. She's like very pretty. She came in with her boyfriend or whatever. And I hate when customers come in with like their girlfriend, because, you know, girls are kind of mean. But she wanted to sit in my section. So she sat in my section. She was like, "You're very cute. You have a pretty face, pretty body. You do well in like the adult industry." And I was kind of offended, because I was like, bro, I'm like a student and I'm like doing school and working at this part-time job. And you see me as like a little, you know, like in my head, I'm like a little slut. I don't know. She was like, yeah. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, thank you. And she was just like, "I didn't mean to offend you, but here's a tip. And here's my number if you change your mind." So yeah, 2 weeks later, rent came and couldn't afford it because of being a, you know, a student and working at a Hooters job. So I texted her and got in.
Well, you know, pretty girls tend to recognize pretty girls, right?
Right.
Like, isn't that how it happens? Like, I noticed, like, when I see like cattiness over boyfriends, it's usually not a really sexy girl sticking up for her man or trying to, you know, build a fence around him or something.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's like insecure in a way. Like some girls that are like that is very like, you know, insecure, but not to be mean. Like I like girls, but sometimes girls can be really mean.
Well, that's a great question. Is there, and I want to jump back to like your first scene and stuff like that, but no names, you don't have to do that. But is there cattiness that you see in the industry nowadays as your cat hops up behind you? Adorable. Do you see cattiness in the industry? All I see online are girls pulling for other girls and this and that, it seems like. Go ahead. Sorry, I'll stop talking.
No, I agree with you. I love it. Like, that's why I've stuck to the industry for like this long, because everyone is so sweet. Like, everyone's supporting each other. Everyone has everyone's back, you know? It's like nice compared to like sororities and stuff like that and cheer. That was just, you know, cattiness. It's like, oh, isn't this supposed to be like sisterhood, teammates and whatnot? Sorry.
No, you're totally good. That the cat is only making it better, by the way.
Yeah, it just adds to the whole
ambiance of it. Yes. Yeah. So that's interesting that there's, you know, not that same cattiness. I wonder if it ever goes on behind the scenes, if there's ever stuff that we don't see, like, you know, girls vying for special spots or certain roles or whatever.
Yeah.
But it seems like if you girls want a role, there'll be one coming down the pipe at some point, right? Whether it's to work for a big company or to work with a certain performer.
No shortage.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, someone's shooting a 6-month movie with you. It's like, oh, I get to have fun with Clara Trinity for a week or a week.
Oh my God,
week, could
man.
you imagine? Yeah, an afternoon. And it's like, well, I guess I could make room in my schedule for her there. So what was your first scene? Could I ask what type it was or who it was with, if you remember? Does it get weird? Does stuff get gray and like fuzzy at some point?
Yeah, like after my first year of porn, my second year, I was like, they'll ask me like, well, which one was your like favorite scene? And I'm like, I don't even remember my scenes. I don't even know what I shot yesterday. I'm like, it's like getting like confusing and like it's all adding up. Like school, like how was school today? I'm like, I don't know. My favorite year of school, I don't know. But I think like my first scene, I remember my first scene though, because it was such a big deal because it released and everyone from my hometown was like, you fuck older guys? Like that's so bad because yeah, it was an older guy and you know, my age, they're like, oh, you should be like sleeping with younger guys, you know? And yeah, so it was like, oh, okay.
We don't care that you're fucking on film or that, you know, and any of that. Just make sure they're younger dudes. Yeah.
Age appropriate. Yes, let's keep it age appropriate, Clara. So now when you say older guy, was the guy in his 30s or was he like on Social Security?
90,
yeah.
I think he was like 30s and 40s. Like, I don't think he was like, you know, Social Security.
Could have been her dad.
Yeah.
Could have played her dad. Oh, no. Yeah, I understand. There you go. Yeah. Could have played her stepdad, actually, I think is how you should really pitch it in the industry nowadays. So what, it was just a boy girl. I mean, right off the bat, you didn't start with like girl, solo, anything like that, or
it was like a straight boy girl. And it was, and the worst part is like, not the worst part, but like my first scene, I did a cream pie scene. So it was just like, everyone freaked out. They're like, oh my gosh, you're fucking an old guy and you're trying to get pregnant with him. I'm like, oh, no. So it was like, okay, this is terrible.
You guys don't understand acting. It's just acting, folks. Don't worry about it.
Is your hometown like, you know, 1930s pre-birth control? Like how does that work?
It's just a small hometown. Like it's very southern. Yeah. So everyone knows everyone since they were like in kindergarten or something like that.
Okay. So that's a good question. So are you known as like the girl in the town that went on to do this then? Is there anyone else in the town that went on to do anything? Like you got any other like Playboy models or like astronauts or anything? Nothing? Okay.
They got a serial killer and a porn star. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you about your brand a little bit here, Clara, because I'm on top of, I have a wife, like, you know, I have a regular sex life and everything, but I've always found porn really fun and interesting and fascinating. And when I started the show with Shane, my idea was like, let's talk to the happiest people in the world. People who get paid to look beautiful and fuck, they're going to be pretty happy, I would assume, which is great. But holy shit, I buried my own question in my head.
Yeah, because I was hung up on the happiest people in the world and stifling a Down syndrome joke.
Oh, I don't remember what I'm really lost now.
You were asking about her brand. I'd like to piggyback off that. So I first noticed you like, I don't know, a couple years ago. And what I liked about your brand was that I could tell right off the bat that you're like small town, sweet girl, cheer captain, college student. It just like radiated off of you. Aww. And it's really hard to tell. Like it's hard to put into words what it is about you that sells it so well. So how do you do it? Like how can I look at a picture of you and just know you're from a small town and you were the cheer captain? But then at the same time you're doing these incredible scenes where you're just getting pummeled and just you're just going to town riding these fucking gargantuan beasts. And I just like what do you think your brand is? What brand do you have? What's your image or your niche?
And do you put thought into that?
Yes, I do actually. Because I thought like when my first month of being in the industry, I thought like it's all about tattoos, looking like you're hot, like a hot, slutty boob job, everything. Like I wanted to look older, like the porn star look. But then like I realized fans liked me because I was innocent and petite and like sweet, you know. And then I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll just stick to that. But then I'm like, I want to be known as like the hot, milfy looking girl. But then I'm like, I can't play that role. It sucks. But
well, one day you can be the hot MILF. Yeah.
I don't know. I think she might look just like adorable forever, personally.
Well, once she has children, eventually, way down the line, she will technically be a MILF, even if she still looks like a Bratz doll or something.
I don't know. I've been playing adorable for 35 years now, and it just never goes away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you still look like a puppy.
So, do you accept projects or not accept projects based on your brand, or are there times when you go like, I know generally what people want from me, but I need to take something from my own like
or maybe take a role and think, how do I put my spin on this role I wouldn't see myself in? Because I like I said, I mean, I've seen Clara in a lot of stuff, and it's not the kind of stuff you think of when you think of cheer captain, small town girl, innocent, natural boobs. So yeah, do you make a conscious decision to take certain roles and then play it a certain way, or just shun all certain roles altogether? What are you doing there?
I accept every role. Like if they're like, do you want to shoot this Tuesday? And it's like a stepdaughter or stepsister, all the young roles. I like to do everything. My only thing is the dick of the side, like the dick size. I get scared because it hurts sometimes, but obviously I enjoy it.
I can't tell.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, Claire. Could I ask how tall you are?
Yes, I'm 5 foot, 5 feet.
Okay, 5 foot. You look like you weigh about 95 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And at times I've seen you with gentlemen whose penises look like they're about 5'2" and weigh about 120 pounds. Physically, how does that work? Because like I'm just thinking of the physics of it. It's like, well, why doesn't it rip through her stomach or like this and that? What kind, like, how many bags of frozen vegetables are you sitting on your way home?
Oh yeah, a lot. Like I do those Epsom salt baths and everything because it's so painful, and I'm just like thinking to my head, I'm like, it's gonna heal, but it's not like bad when you masturbate beforehand.
Okay. So you do a process of maybe like opening up a little bit or loosening up or something along those lines, right? Okay, yeah, because I mean, some of them I've seen, I was like, oh my God, I don't know. Who's the gentleman with the nuclear symbol on his chest?
I don't know.
They all blur together.
That's great.
It's a gray area.
Let me tell you how hot that is when I'm like, this is the biggest dick I've ever seen. And Claire goes like, they're all the biggest dicks I've ever seen. That's
after
fine.
11 inches, like, come on. What does it matter,
Shane, this might lead into some of your questions because I know you had some stuff in this field.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
No, I had a real quick question about that whole, because she's just going to work so much. Like, what's the hardest angle for you to film from? Because I've seen you do like acrobatics. That's what it is.
Yes, the pile driver is the one that sucks the most for me because I feel like they're just putting air in my pussy because it's like upside down, and I just hate that.
Okay.
That one doesn't even look that fun for guys, if I'm being honest.
It doesn't.
No, it's just like doing body weight squats with your dick pointed down, right?
It's like those guys in India who attach the weights to their dick and pull cars and shit.
Sure. Yeah. So let's take it into a realm. Say what you're comfortable saying. Say what you don't have to say. Totally, And Shane, again, I think you had some questions in this realm that I want to bring up. But you said small town, southern town. Not asking where, but southern town.
Yes.
So when you start, again, we've talked to performers of all races and stuff like that. When you start shooting scenes with Black gentlemen, African-American gentlemen, was there any pushback from anyone that you talked to? Was that seen as like a negative, or do you just fuck it, the hometown's gone, who gives a shit?
It's funny because it was more like recently when I started becoming friends with like business people, because I'm also still in school and I'm trying to get internships and all that. And they're all like seeing my videos and they're like, oh my gosh, your pussy is loose. You take like big black cocks. And I'm like, what does that have to do? Like,
that's a business school chat, huh?
Yeah. No, who's this? Is this the HR manager at the internship or no?
This is her professor of economics.
They're like, so this is how you'll log into the system to clock your time. Also, I mean, your pussy must be so loose with all those big black cocks, BBCs. Am I right, Clara?
A lot of air in there, huh?
That's a lot of air. That's ridiculous.
That's fucking rude. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really rude.
Do you get? How are your interactions with fans? And Shane, I'll let you take it back because, again, I know you had some questions, but is there people who will tune out of you after doing either again, it's so funny. We say big black cock. A big white cock does the same damage that anything. It's just,
Yeah.
If anything, they've done way more damage throughout history.
Well, societal, sure.
Yeah.
But if we're just talking to Clara, I would assume it's that gentleman with the nuclear symbol on his chest. God damn, I need to know his name. But
is that your phone?
Yes. Why
it is
ringing? So sorry. It's
no, you're totally cool.
Oh, I thought that was Matt.
No, someone.
I was chiding him, not you.
Yeah,
Clara.
he was gonna scream at me and hit me off camera, not you, Clara. No, you're totally good. So I lost it again because I'm just thinking of that HR manager, just kind of drooling. Go ahead.
Do your fans check out when you take on new roles? Do people see you as innocent and sweet and hometown, and then they see like, oh fuck, well I didn't think she'd go that far, and then they've had it.
Yeah. Actually, that's kind of true. Like they're like, oh, she was so quiet in high school, this and that. And then it's like, well, in high school, we're not supposed to be talking about like that kind of topic, And they're just like, and the way she dresses, it's so different. It's like, because in high school we had a dress code, you can't wear crop tops and all that. But yeah, they definitely were surprised when I joined porn.
How about your fans? Do your fans ever check out, or do you just? It'd be so funny if she's like, I've never read a single comment once on Twitter or Instagram.
For your mental health.
It's like, I have fans. I don't even know. They pay me and I have sex. It's great. I didn't know anyone was even watching.
My cat sends replies. On
my cat lets me know it rules. Do you get pushback from fans at all? Like, don't do that type of scene. Don't do that stuff. Or are they pretty supportive?
Yeah, they're pretty supportive. There's probably like one person, if they just started watching my videos and they're like, please don't ever do anal or this and that. I'm like, okay, I don't know you, but okay.
Hi, random Twitter egg. Yeah, I'll be sure to not do that ever. Thank you. Thank you for dictating my life. And what should I do Tuesday? Let me know. It's crazy the control that fans look, hey, they pay you, they listen to us. We get it. The fans are kind of the reason we're here. If no one was watching or listening or anything else, we wouldn't be doing this. You would just be doing some cool internship and I would just be working a day job. And yet at the same time, it's like, you don't get to tell me what to do. You get to see this. You get to enjoy this. If you don't, you get to leave. But you don't get to tell me or anyone else what to do. You control your own life. You don't control mine, right?
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah. Shane, you got something?
Yeah, just like, so I don't want to ask anything too personal, but I mean, I've seen your posts and stuff, like they advertise you a lot as Asian or Filipina or whatever. How many generations American are you? Are you first generation Filipina American or second? How deep does that go?
Born and raised in America, but definitely know the culture because of my parents.
Sure. Okay.
And are they born? They're born and raised in America?
Yes. My dad was. I'm about to have the Asian accent, but my dad was, and then my mother wasn't. She came like around my age, actually.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so. Yeah, like I had like a series of questions about like, I mean, I don't know how much did you watch porn in high school? Like, how much did you know about porn before you were in it?
Nothing. Yeah, I was pretty innocent.
Okay, so I mean, you probably know less because you're so much younger than Matt and I. But when we were younger and we started seeing porn, like the Asian fetish was different than it is now.
Really?
Yeah.
It was pretty offensive, if I can say. And I'm not very much like a oh, you can't do that, you can't say that. I think it's fine that they did it, but looking back, I think some people, like, I remember the Kung Fu Pussies series, Shane, if you'll remember that.
I don't remember that. No.
Yep, that was a big one. Me Love You Long Time was a big series. I remember
Slanted Slits was one. That was truly offensive. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice that we've progressed to a point where we can just call Asian people Asian, even though maybe we shouldn't even do that.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 billion people right there.
But do you mind being referred to as an Asian porn star? Because Connie Perignon is another performer. We love her. We had her on. She hates it. She just wants to be a hot chick. She doesn't want to be a hot Asian chick. I understand if it's in a derogatory way, but like I'm an ugly white guy. Shane is a creepy white guy. Is it wrong if we say you're a beautiful Asian girl?
No, it's really not. I think I just got used to it. That's why. But I think before, like, I was like, why do y'all have to specifically put Asian before like girl or something like that? And then working at the strip club, everyone's like, oh, she's a really pretty Asian. What kind of Asian are you? And then it's like, okay, now I'm used to being called Asian girl.
So it's nice that they're actually asking and want to know what kind of Asian you are. That to me seems a little more personal. Like, oh, I want to, not so much I want to sit down with you as you're stripping and go over your culture, but it's like, I'm not just going to be like, oh, this is a Chinese girl. Okay. Right. Yeah. Right. Well, yeah.
That's why I think the Asian fetish has kind of evolved, is because people are more curious, and they're like that whole offensive, like docile geisha girl who just like sits there and does that like high pitched, like oscillating moan, like the like, that's not appealing. And it's just like nobody wants a slave in real life unless you're a sociopathic killer, like. You want like a real person. And that's why I think the Asian fetish is evolving so much, is because the different cultures are so vastly different, and y'all look worlds apart. Like that's the thing, is like, I feel like not only is the negative stereotype changing around the behavior and the submissiveness, I think it's like the physical appeal is changing too, where it's like, I don't know how Filipino your family is. Did they make you use the soap when you were a kid? Do you know about the soap?
Shane, you should explain your history. It sounds like you're just a white guy. Like, I studied Filipino stuff in college
for
Shane's,
2 years.
Shane's wife is Filipino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been married for 15 years. So it's like I don't have a real family anymore because, well, I found out my dad's not even my real dad. So that's half the family gone right there, right? But anyway, so I live with my.
That's more for a shrink, not Clara Trinity. But go ahead.
Well, that's how I see her most of the time. She helps me with my problems, So anyway, my wife told me, and I've had this verified, like from other people, like when she was little and when her brother was little and cousins and all this stuff, like. They have this fucking special soap where it's like, you got to wash yourself with this soap because it's supposed to make your skin lighter.
Yes. Okay. That's yes.
Okay, so she knows.
Yes.
Wait,
you still use it?
Yes.
Really?
Because it actually feels good, like on the skin. I don't know. Maybe Asian skin.
Who makes it? Actually, Clorox? What is what is
Jackson?
This? Yeah.
Does it actually work?
I don't think so. For me personally, it doesn't work, but. I guess like for girls or other Asian people.
That's possible. Yeah.
Maybe it's placebo where it's their brain makes it work. But that's my question though, is like, it's related to that. It's like, have you seen like a shift where it's like the beauty standards have changed and then the attitudes have changed? Because, like for instance, when I first met my wife, they were still trying to get her to use the soap, 15 years ago. They were like, you got to use the soap. What the fuck are you doing? You're so dark. And now, like 15 years later, I'm not saying that her whole family's watching porn and stuff, and they're adjusting their attitudes based on porn sentiment. But now it's always compliments on the skin tone. And it's always compliments on her bigger butt and hips and stuff. And it's like, do you notice the same thing in porn? Do you notice it in your community? Because I certainly do, but Matt thinks I'm fucking crazy.
I don't think you're crazy. I've never said that. I've never asked. I'm not your shrink. Clara is.
I talked to
Dr. Trinity here is.
Yeah, Dr. Trinity's in session. Go ahead.
No, I agree with you. Like, it's definitely changing. I don't know, like more tattoos. They're always saying don't get tattoos because they're not going to book you for shoots. Now, like they don't, well, not saying they don't care. Now it's more like, oh, you can have a tattoo, on like set and stuff like that for shoots. So I started getting more tattoos. Not really, but.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to take it in a different direction. So if you're still going, go ahead.
Yeah.
Have you, okay. are you into girls naturally, or is it porn? Nah, look at that face.
Like, I like girls as friends, but
Okay.
I really with girls outside of work.
I like boys the same way. Just as friends though. And sometimes Shane and I'll kiss, but that's just like a friends thing, you know?
That's a friends thing to make sure that
hand
still
jobs, but that's just like buddies hanging out. Okay. All right. I
relieving
think that's
stress.
fair. I think that's fair. Let me ask you something that just came up recently, kind of in the news. I won't say the name. I'll say the name of the performer, but not the company. A company recently, and I want to know if you would take offense to this, or the opposite is when your scene's done, you hand it off, and that's them. Valerica Steele, who I am a huge fan of, and I would love to get on this show. Recently on the screen caps for a scene she shot, they airbrushed out all of her tattoos. Now she is heavily tattooed. Would you be offended by something like that? Is that something that you feel hurts your brand, or is it a thing where they paid me for the scene, agree. I did the scene, and they take it from there?
She didn't agree to that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see that on Twitter as well. I thought that was pretty disrespectful. Like, you know, it's on her body, and it's like if they just like erased her eyebrows or something, you know?
Drew
then
a dick on her head.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of mean, but for me, I personally wouldn't care. But at the same time, I'd feel like some type of way about it. Like, oh, okay, maybe like they should have let me know that they didn't like my tattoo or something. I could have like, you know, like be mentally prepared to not see it in the video. I don't know.
Sure. But, and the crazy part is it's just the screen cap. They didn't go in and AI the video to take it out, obviously. Right. So in a way, it's a little bit of false advertising. Let me ask, so you shoot mainstream scenes, but how big is your OnlyFans?
I don't know. I don't feel like it's not that big, and I feel like it's not that small because of I'm doing everything jack of all trade with school and working, not just with OnlyFans, but shooting porn and traveling and stripping, like all of it. But
how do you keep yourself centered? Like that's I get on with Shane twice a week and record for about 4 hours, and I'm just totally burnt out,
wiped out.
How do you do what you do?
Oh, I'm completely burnt out, especially going to the gym. Like after this podcast, I'm going to the gym, and like after that, I have to fix this camera for like my apartment, and I don't even know how to do this. So I'm like, yeah, I definitely feel that.
How do you shoot your content for your OnlyFans? Do you just shoot stuff? Do you have a backlog at all? Like if your camera breaks one day, are you just fucked for like a couple weeks?
Just to use my phone, because I have two phones, obviously, one for school, one for work, and yeah, whatever.
Sure. Good girl phone and a naughty girl phone. I understand.
Work and play.
Okay, all right. So, not prying deeply. Don't tell me any institutions or anything like that. You're still in school. What are the career ambitions?
I want to be a physical therapist. I want to be in the dental industry. Like, I want to do a lot of things.
You want to be a Swiss Army knife doctor, essentially?
I thought she wanted to massage teeth to relieve, to fix cavities or something.
You want to you just want to fly on planes across the country, and any incident that comes up where they go, is there a doctor on board? Clara just goes, I can take care of this. And then they go, someone needs to fuck this guy back to life. And she goes, I can cover that too. Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. So you just have a broad interest in all things medical then? Is that?
Yes. Anything medical to help a person. I feel like it's nice.
Wow.
I'm seeing like a career in like some sort of sex something, like why not?
Right.
Like I don't want to say like a sex therapist, because that's more like psychology. Well, maybe she could design like a penis erector or something like that. She just stands in front of the patient, and then his dick comes back to life. Engineering,
I would think, though. Yeah. That's okay. She could probably figure that out too. Okay, so you don't see a long-term career in this industry, do you?
I don't. Yes. And it sucks to say that, because all the girls that are in this industry, it's like, they're set, they love it. And I love it. It's just that I don't want to be in it for that long. Like what I've been in. What? Sorry.
You've been in how long?
for like next year is going to be my 4th year because I joined 2020, so 2024.
Does that scare you at all going into the future and having that plan like, okay, this is only a chapter and I have so much more? Are you like, that's bold. That's really, really bold. I mean, are you worried about future jobs, boyfriends, whatever? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
All the time. It stresses me out, especially after like my first year. I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. But then I'm like, guys don't really treat me the way they used to because, you know, they don't want to have like a relationship because I fuck guys on camera, different guys. And then
Tell me where they live.
Thank you. But yeah, it's just hard. And especially like after COVID, not after COVID, like I know it's still people are like wearing masks and scared of it, but having classes online and then transitioning to going in person, like I get scared if I'm going to get recognized and get kicked off campus, you know, things like that stresses me out. But then it's like, it's not that bad. I did get recognized on campus, but then it's like, they just wanted a picture and it was like, cool. She goes to like, you know, Clara Trinity goes to my fucking school. Like, that's cool. But, you know, it's scary sometimes.
Yeah. Well, porn stars deserve to go to college too, right?
Right.
I mean,
well, see, it's half and half. By the way, when I say well, I'm not saying I'm going to disagree with it, but as a guy who's sitting in a classroom, I desperately, with all of my heart, want to sit across from Clara Trinity and be like, I respect your choice to do porn, 100%. And then after class ends, I want to go, can I get a picture with you, please? Oh my God, you're my favorite. I subscribe to your OnlyFans. Check it out. See, so it's like, as long as guys aren't being dicks, I guess I don't know. Is it okay to acknowledge it? I know. Yeah. Guys are just kind of assholes sometimes.
Assholes, yeah.
It can be, but you know, we should be training men to be better in situations like that.
Totally.
You know, so.
Well, that's why I think yeah.
What is the respectful way if someone recognizes you? Is there a respectful way to say like quietly come up and like nudge your shoulder and go like, love your work, and then just kind of walk away? Or what is, you know, what's a respect to the fans out there that are listening? What is a respectful way for them to acknowledge you without bombarding you?
Send you a campus email.
Yeah, I don't know. Because so far, every like encounterment with fans are very polite, nice.
Okay, yeah. So and how has that been? Has it just been a quick like, hey, big fan of yours, would you mind if I get a picture? Or is it's not yelling across the camp, Clara Trinity!
She does porn! Her! Yes!
Yo, the hot one over there, the hot Asian girl. Sorry to classify you as Asian, but you technically are. You know, okay. All right. Okay. So that's good. That's, you know, I don't know. I just, we had a girl that did porn in high school. She was 18 senior year, and it's still burned in my brain. Like, I knew that girl. Oh, it's so cool to know this girl. And then ironically, well, in her video, she ate a ton of ass and it was a pretty rough scene. And then ironically, what did she become? A dental hygienist. And I saw her in my office, and I won't lie, this was many years ago, probably 10 years ago at this point. I will admit to being a bad person at that time. When I saw her digging in people's mouths, my first thought was, where were those hands? Because I don't want that. I got a different hygienist. She was very sweet. But yeah, that was a judgment on my part. And I want to, you know, get reconciliation for that. I apologize. Yeah, wash my hands of it. Shane, do you have anything else? Because I have some fan questions here that I want.
Yeah, let's hit the fan questions.
Okay, do a little segment here we call Ask a Porn Star.
Ask a Porn Star. Presented by your worst friend going deeper.
These are from Reddit. It's r/AsianPornstars. I apologize. That was the first one that came up when I put your name in there. Actually, I think you do have a subreddit, but they didn't respond to me asking if I could ask questions or gather questions from them.
Reddit's cool.
Yeah, Reddit's real filthy. It's one step up of 4chan.
Yeah.
So here is a question from Sasha M. Ing. It's not Sasha Ming. I know that. There are underscores in there. Sex off camera. Does it tend to be more vanilla, or are you still doing like crazy positions on film and stuff like that?
Definitely vanilla. When I'm like no cameras and the lights are out, definitely just like trying to bust a nut and that's it and go to bed.
I guess you wouldn't ask De Niro to do a monologue sitting at dinner, like at the table, you know? So you can't, I mean.
I feel like Pacino gives a lot of monologues unprompted.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Here's a question here from cool name, Pooji47. Okay. What's your favorite off-screen aspect of being a porn star?
Sorry, you have to dumb down the question. I'm not that smart. I'm like, I don't understand the question. I have blonde moments. I'm an Asian and I have blonde moments.
Yeah, you know what? I read some of these. Oh my
God, my wife has said the same fucking thing.
What one guy, all due respect to you, sir, I know you're listening now. It might have been this guy or someone coming up, wrote about 15 paragraphs worth of questions. And I went, dude, just sign up for her OnlyFans. Like, I can't. What do you want? Let me read you this novel
get
now,
in her
Clara.
econ class.
Yeah, dude, send her an email and say you'd like to chat with her and ask her for a Venmo. Like, what do you want from me? What's your favorite off-screen aspect of being a porn star? Do you like being recognized? Is it just... Do you have opportunities to go to events and stuff that you're like, oh shit, that's pretty cool?
Like the praise, yeah. Do you like traveling, the money? What's the best part?
Everything, the traveling, the money, and meeting people. Like, you know, like I don't watch porn. Well, before I got into porn, and then like meeting other celebrities in the industry, it's like, oh my gosh, that person is actually famous because it pops on Pornhub. You know, it's like pretty cool. Or like I get to work with that like person, so it's pretty cool.
Important. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry. Important question here from Exiled Ember. Pancakes or waffles?
Oh, that's hard. I like pancakes, and I know no one likes them, but I like pancakes a lot.
No, pancakes are fine, but are any of us going to disagree? Maybe you will. I don't know. The third option is better than those first two. French toast.
Oh, okay. French toast. I love French.
I was thinking eggs.
No, how is that an option? It's not in the same thing.
It's breakfast.
No.
I don't like any of that. You like eating bread for breakfast, dude? That's fucking gross.
She just said pancakes. Sorry, Clara and I are over here talking about eating bread for breakfast. Why don't you just take your eggs and fuck off? Why don't you do that, bud? Here's a question from interesting 007. And this kind of leads into what we talked about before, actually. How many years do you see yourself in porn?
Definitely 4 to 5 years. So maybe 2024 retirement or 2025. So soon. But I will be sad, obviously.
It's like Quentin Tarantino, huh? It's like 10 movies and I'm out.
Hey, you know what though? We have heard that from other girls before who are on their 10th year and said, I was going to do 3 years in it. So the nice thing is you have this experience, and if something else doesn't work out,
you can always come back on our show.
Yeah. And this is from Wise Honeydew, who again, I mean, paragraphs of stuff this guy wrote. Have you ever thought about trying to set a world record in porn?
Actually, I was thinking about that last month because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to retire. And I haven't been to like the AVNs because I joined during COVID time. So everything was like virtual AVNs. I didn't go to the one last year because I had school. There's a lot of things that I didn't get to live to my full potential as a porn star. So I'm like, I'm going to start going to parties and stuff like that. And I did go to a swinger party, which was like pretty different. Yeah.
Than a normal party, yeah.
Yeah, than a normal party. But left early because I was like, okay, yeah, this isn't my kind of like vibe.
So, there's less chips and salsa at a swinger party, I assume.
Did you do any, like, did you swing? Did you hook up at all? Or were you just like, oh, this is something to look at, you know?
Yeah, I looked at it and I'm just like, okay, so now I got the experience. Like, I'm just like trying to experience more things in the industry now compared to before retirement.
So let me ask, is there I don't think this is the right term. Is there a coup de grace at the end? Is there something that you want to go out on, a scene where it's just this is it. This is your blowout. And this is, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that one. Good one. Yeah, look, I'm having a blonde Asian moment.
I think that's
here,
like a revolt or a rebellion.
Why don't you just, her rebellion out of porn. Yeah. Is there a scene where you're just like, that's the one that you're maybe nervous to do now, and we're going to hit it at the end, and you're never going to see me again unless you're getting your cavities filled?
Yes, definitely anal, because I haven't done it and everyone's waiting for it, and I'm just gonna do that one scene and leave.
Smart. And then you got to sell it $50 on ManyVids.
There you go.
Way to go. That's in 6 different parts. There you go. And I got to get my
wife to book her before she retires.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like we talk to a lot of people who say they're in it for the long haul, and I think that when you make it a limited time deal, like the whole Quentin Tarantino thing, like we referenced, where it's like where you set a number, you set a time limit, and you say like, all right, this is as long as you get me. Mm-hmm. And when I'm gone. It makes you really value and appreciate and want to dive into all the content that's available, right?
Yes, I agree with you. Definitely.
Have you ever, pardon my ignorance on not knowing this, have you ever shot any kind of a gangbang scene?
No, I want to. That's definitely one of like my bucket list thing. I've only done 2 guys max, and then if not, like a bunch of girls in a scene and 1 guy, you know.
Sure. Yeah, all due respect. I mean, I'm sure it was hard work. I don't count the girls, so I'm counting the counting the dudes. I count the guys. Yeah. So okay, business wise, this is my idea. We set 2 scenes. Okay, one is the gangbang, no anal, and one is a straight anal scene. Fuck it, maybe we do 3 after you heal up a little bit. Gangbang with anal included. You pop those off, part 1 and part 2, $50 each on ManyVids. You're gonna buy a dentist's office, okay? People are gonna line up to pay for those things. So, just a little business advice from a guy who never could shoot porn if his life depended on it. Just I couldn't. I don't have the dick for it. I don't have the body for it. I don't have the mentality for it. I don't like rejection. I'd try and kiss too much. I'd be like, oh, can I kiss you now? I don't want to hold their hands and stuff.
Just come. You can cuddle now.
So, okay. All right. That's very interesting. I think that's a great idea. I think you go out on top. Now, here's the thing, though. You really got to go out. If you go out on top with a scene like that, you almost have to go out permanently. You have to lock that door behind you, because all due respect to the girls that eventually do come back, if you go out on some big massive scene and then 3 years later you're shooting with like kind of a steady cam guy at a glory hole, it's like, oh no, oh Clara, the teeth didn't work out. The teeth didn't work out. Yeah. Shane, do you have any other questions here for Clara today? She's been wonderful.
Yeah, just I don't really have any questions. I just I didn't know that her time was limited, so I guess just I'm gonna miss you.
I mean, don't worry. If things don't work out, I'll come back.
Just you have to come back on top, though. You can't go out on top and come back around a 4. You know, that's that's the rule. Well, then I'll ask Shane's question that he's too scared to ask right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. You want to ask it in unison?
No, I'd rather you just ask it. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Oh, how does Gia DeBella's pussy taste?
Oh, yummy. Very yummy.
I thought so. I thought it would be.
That wasn't the question, and you know it, but that's fine. I'll ask it for you. Shane asks all of the performers we ask, what is your view on piss in scene?
Yeah. Do you like piss? Sorry.
No, you're good. Personally, not for me, but it's cool if other people do it. Just not for me.
Sure. Understandable. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we were joined by the lovely Clara Trinity. You can check her out on Instagram at Clara X Trinity, on Twitter and OnlyFans at Trinity_Clara. Go search her on ManyVids. Anytime you see her name, just kind of click it. I mean, even if it leads to a virus on some shady, Prague website, just click it. Who cares? You might be getting her help somewhere. definitely go sign up for her OnlyFans. Links to everything is in the episode description, as it always is. So please go check her out, give her a follow, let her know you enjoyed you enjoyed her on our show. Clara Trinity, thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Thank you for having me.
For Your Worst Friend, I'm Matt.
I'm Shane.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.